Your life.
Welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. I am supposed to be on Rockfin right now, but we're having a little bit of glitchy shit going on. So, as a result, we're here on the YouTubes we're here on the YouTubes till they take us down from YouTubes. But having said that, this is going to be another Slow News Day moderator stream because the last one was a lot of freaking fun. So, joining myself and Glory Jones this evening is your friendly neighborhood comrade, Misty Winston, and Anthony Reyes. And how y'all?
Pretty good.
Good. It's good to finally see you, Ant. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Same. Likewise.
Been a while.
I feel like I made it.
Misty, I want you to plug your episode with Morgan because I kind of want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so today, earlier today, Jesse and I sat down with Morgan Archikina. You guys may know her from Twitter. I think her handle is Lavender and Red. But she is an amazing journalist. She writes for Sputnik a lot, but she has been doing a lot of coverage over several years on Space Force. So we sat down with her to talk about that and all of the different crazy shit that they're trying to do and plan and plot and scheme, and it was incredibly informative and also terrifying.
Is the spice gonna flow?
Is the what gonna flow?
Spice. Will the spice flow? This
Dude.
is a very, very specific reference to Dune.
Oh, okay, then
Dune?
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
The fuck off of my show, Winston.
All right, logging out. See ya.
Oh, you'd like that movie.
I don't mess
You'd
with
like
you
it.
when you don't understand my Naruto.
Guys, how many times do I have to tell you I don't watch movies?
Oh,
It came out in like 1981.
Yeah, it's an old one.
Okay. Well, I wasn't born in 1981, first of all.
Hey, Misty.
Fair enough.
Shame.
I'll take your shame. I'll wear it.
No, but can you like give us a little bit of hints? Like, are we going to be mining other planets? Is this primarily about building the space wall to keep out the space Mexicans? Like, is there a space ISIS that we don't know about, and that's why we need space force?
Okay. So basically, this is just another dick measuring contest between nuclear powers, and they want to take over space. It's the whole colonialism. They want to take over everything. So most of what we talked about today was just we talked a little bit about the history, which, I had heard about the Space Force. It was kind of like a running joke on late night TV. But this actually goes back a really long time, like back to the 50s. This has been something that they've been, plotting and scheming up. So we talked a little bit about the history behind it, and then some of the things that they're now currently doing. They have new labs opening and stuff like that. Our Space Force right now is currently like very much in its infancy. Like nobody's in space. Nobody's, driving spaceships and shooting laser beams. So, it's very much in its infancy, but it's really, we think the United States thinks that we own space and that we are entitled to space, and Russia and China are making moves to infiltrate our property. And so we are now kind of playing catch up and trying to make sure that they can't, take over. So it's like King of the Mountain, and except for with nuclear weapons and spaceships.
Yeah,
and it's terrifying.
Well, yeah.
I
haven't had a nonsensical, feel good, bullshit, random conversation in I don't know how long. Like, every time I talk to somebody, they fucking scare the shit out of me. And
I will say that it's very interesting. Like, the stuff that they're doing, 9-year-old me is like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, they're going to develop this cool solar station in space that will be able to like beam down solar power to to military bases, and like it's all this really cool like sci-fi techie stuff that you know it's super interesting. But then you realize that that power is in the hands of the United States military, and then it becomes less fun.
I don't know. I've got a fun thought. I remember that going horribly in SimCity. It was like
Morgan actually brought that
Like,
up. She said when we were
like-
talking about
yeah.
the solar power thing station in space, she was like, "This is like some SimCity 2000 shit. Like this is
yeah,
So, yeah,
you aim it wrong, it lights everything on fire. Your city's gone.
yeah,
It's good
that's
stuff.
exactly what she was talking about. Yeah. So I mean, it is super interesting. Morgan is incredibly knowledgeable about it as well. If you guys don't know who she is, she's so awesome. Super smart. And always fun to talk to. So yeah,
Morgan's been on this show and has been on a couple of vigils, I believe now. Yeah, I
think
mean, I'm
so, yeah.
hoping
so.
the people that are watching are familiar with them. They kick ass, dude. I enjoy very, very, very much, dude. Morgan has been with. Okay, so the last time they were on the show, it spent like 3 solid months, and we had a conversation about police brutality and a bunch of other shit. You know, it was a different thing that we talked about, but the research into Space Force, just for an article that was going to come out like 2 months later, had already been like 6 months of digging, and just it's frightening. It sounds on its face like a massive just black hole for budget. Like, oh, we need a slush fund. What can we
well,
use?
and she also brought up the fact that this is kind of like the new, you know, back in when NASA was really pushing the space program. This is like a new PR campaign. This is like the new way that they're trying to kind of get the American public on board with spending more money on defense. So, you know, they make it sound cool and interesting, and it's the Space Force, and, you know, they have an ad out, a recruiting ad that is like straight from Star Trek. Like they make it it's completely based on Star Trek. So yeah, it's basically a marketing campaign to get more money for defense spending, which we all know we need more of that.
I mean, I personally prefer
Well,
Wars to Star Trek,
oh, no, go ahead.
but
Well, I was just gonna say, since the Cold War, they keep making excuses to spend money on new weapons and new armaments. Since 9/11, 20 years in Afghanistan, that's getting a little old. So what's the new grift? This is the new grift for them, I guess.
Well, and they get to keep all of the old wars going too. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to in the last, several days about how, well, Donald Trump never started a war. Well, okay. He started at least 5 coups, and he kept all of the wars going, and he's ramped up the U.S. presence in Africa, and he's dropped more drones than Barry drones, which is a lot of fucking drones.
and increased sanctions on Iran and Cuba specifically. His policy towards Cuba has been worse than Obama's.
Backed out of the START treaty, like sent a whole bunch of troops, relocated NATO headquarters so it could be closer to the Russian border.
But Steve, you know what?
Gatto
told me he's a Putin puppet, so I'm inclined to believe MSNBC. I can't say that with a straight face.
I also saw this week, Elliot Abrams said, Biden can't overturn most of the sanctions Trump put on, and B, he probably won't want to anyway.
No.
Well,
Biden is going to be so much worse on foreign policy. People have no idea what's coming. Oh, it's going to be brutal.
Bro, this dude is
it's like
talking
Bailey
about
said.
Putin and fucking Kim Jong-un like he wants to challenge them to a fucking fist fight. Like, Like,
He might.
Donald Trump is soft on these guys. That's why I'm gonna go up to them and say, like, hey, what's up, bro? You want to go?
Yeah.
Vlad, what's up, bro? Hey, I got nukes in the bag, Vlad. You want to go? Like, oh my mama, you got me fucked up, bro.
I used to have a joke with these centrists, like they're like, Trump's not offering me anything. I'm like, yeah, and Joe's offering you a push-up challenge like that. Like, what else are you gonna get from Joe?
Yeah.
Look fat.
Oh my god, dude! I would love to see. Okay. Look, I understand, Misty. This is probably a very difficult time for you, as
Why?
Putin's buddy.
Listen,
No.
Lord Putin, whoever Lord Putin wanted to win, won. Okay.
No. I mean, in terms of him not being president of Russia for very much longer.
Oh, well, there's some debate on that. Like, Western media went apeshit over that, and then Archie put out a thing where that may not necessarily be accurate. So, I don't know.
He's just
You
gonna
know, he'll
Parkinson
always be my
his way
president.
through office, or
Huh?
one of the headlines I saw was that he had Parkinson's.
Yeah, that's what Western media is saying.
Oh,
But then RT put out an article challenging that. So
Okay.
I don't know how much veracity there is to that. They've done this before where they say that he's leaving office and blah, 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 and then he doesn't.
Well,
But
and
regardless,
to
he will always be my president.
Yeah, and compared to Misty, Western media did declare Kim Jong-un dead like 3 times.
Yes. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
I'll believe it
technically,
when I see it.
Glory Jones declared me interim president.
Hell fucking yeah, I did.
So again, that means DMT is now mandatory. That means all political prisoners and incarcerated whistleblowers are to be released immediately. And it means we will begin a peaceful and immediate dissolving of the federal government.
Yay. I'm into it. Now, who's your vice president? Because Glory's too young.
Wow.
Sleepy Josh?
Hell no.
I know
Kendra
Josh
would probably
isn't
make a
interested
good
in
vice
that.
president.
What
Kendra
about
would make a
McAfee?
good vice president.
Yeah.
Oh, McAfee. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, yeah,
Mad
that's
Pirate
a tough
King.
call. Yeah, I'll flip a coin later to see if it's Kendra or John McAfee.
Oh my God, what a choice.
On the one hand, incredibly brilliant, totally fucking wonderful human being. On the other hand, pirate. You know? I mean, deranged billionaire pirate.
Yeah, there's on one hand very logical, rational.
I'm gonna
smart.
take a complete fucking cop out here and say Cynthia McKinney, and I hope to die in office like early so that she can
Right?
get better. Yeah.
This is an excellent choice.
Yeah. See,
You know what?
this is why I'm interim president. I make good choices.
Bro, exactly. And Steve, you already have more support than Juan Guaido. Like,
Word.
Yeah,
Although
Dude,
I have
has more support than Juan
that
Guaido.
meme that I keep showing of Guaido. You know what's funny is that I saw that Alex Rubinstein posted it, I believe, or I saw it from Alex Rubinstein's Twitter feed. The Guaido standing there like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, guys, look at all these supporters right here, bro. And it's
the only reason that I have it on my computer at all, let me go find it, is because like the morning that Alex posted that, there we go. Vanessa Beeley sent me this one. Come here. There we go.
oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
So she sent me that, so I had to be like, hang on. I'll be right back.
All right, now I need one with Putin.
Oh,
Somebody make
well, you
I'm
should
sure
ask,
that's
you should ask the Action for Assange Discord. They're fucking
Oh, they're
just
the best.
killer with Insta memes. The whole reason that this sticker is on my cup right now is because I was joking around on a stream one night and said, I would love to see an image that was, like a whistle in the middle, and it says, if you're a member of the national security state, blow me. And so,
was that Bi-Fi
Yeah.
who did that one?
huh?
Was that Bi-Fi who did it?
I maybe
It's gotta be.
I can't remember, but it was beautiful. There were two of them. There were a couple of different versions. I think this is the second incarnation of it. But yeah, the action for Assange Discord just kills it, man. That's where all the Mega Brain memes and the GIF with the growing brain. That's where that was Bi-Fi.
Well, listen, action for Assange
Mega
Discord.
brain!
Lord Putin is always looking for excellent meme makers. So if you have military grade dankness, bring it to me, and I'll show it to Lord Putin.
Was he paying vodka?
It's cigarettes.
He does. Usually that's how you get your bonuses. And if you get called a Russian bot on Twitter, you get a bonus.
Misty,
So
I appreciate your use of the word dank there. Was really appropriate.
Yeah,
in the
right.
context.
Yeah.
military
All
grade
times.
dankness. That's all Putin fucks with.
No amateur shit.
That's right. I mean, listen, if you're gonna swing an election, you need the dankness.
I mean, it would help sway me.
You need the bomb.
It would. Let's be honest. I'm stoked because in between shows here, I went and was able to replenish my supply of live resin cartridges, and
You lucky son of a.
they work, man. Dude, you have no idea how fucking lucky I actually am, bro, because these shits are like anywhere from $70 to fucking $120 out of a shop for a gram, dude, for a gram.
On your side. On your side. It is.
I do not pay that.
Imagine getting a sent over here.
I'm fortunate to live in like the Emerald Triangle South. You can't drive anywhere without passing fucking 30 growers on the road. I've been here for 15 years. I know a handful of people, and this is what they do for a living. And it's fucking legal, So I don't pay retail.
Amen to that.
I don't. I encourage people to not pay retail if at all possible. I don't. Make sure that your workers are being taken care of by all means. I can't believe how fucking the price for trimmers has just plummeted since we went legal. Trimmers used to get paid $200 a pound here. Sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes like you would have a fucking scumbag with a grow property who would pay an extra $100 a pound if chicks would trim topless. Like,
are you fucking kidding me?
$300 a pound to like kind of look at some titties. Like, it seems silly to me.
That was a middle class job, man. It was a lower middle class job.
For real. Yeah. I mean, it's seasonal. So you got to bust ass, and there was a whole fucking industry of recommended trimmers that would go from like grossing to grossing to grossing, and they'd be busy about 3 months out of the year, and it would pay for most of their next year. And now they're like $50 a pound, maybe $100 a pound. A pound.
Dude, that's like worse than minimum wage. How much time that would take?
It is. It's
terrible.
worse than what Uber pays you.
Fuck that.
Word.
Fuck trimming anyway.
Right? Oh, dude, it's the most boring fucking job in California.
It really is.
Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna go get carpal tunnel for this. I have to sit here and listen to fucking white reggae all day. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, I've said some shit before about the music choices in the trim circle. I have.
They must love you.
Words.
Steve, the official term is cod reggae.
Is what?
Cod reggae.
Cod reggae?
Like a fish.
Okay.
That's what we call the white people reggae. Like when I see freaking like white boy bands doing reggae with the same like generic beat, I'm just like, bruh. Like what is this? What is this?
Punishing. That makes me sad
$2
inside.
each for cigarettes? That's like, oh my God, dude. Are you even paying that on the street in like New York City right now for a Lucy?
I mean, Jersey's still like it's like 75 cents, but I don't know. In everything in New York is fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
go there.
They're $1. If you run into somebody selling Lucy's here, they want $1 for them. And they're not even doubling what they paid for the pack at that in most cases.
Yeah, it's like some places here it's still like $7.50, but it's all like 10 in most places though.
Bro.
Jesus Christ. I quit smoking like let's see, 13 years ago. And so hearing that those prices is fucking crazy.
Oh, dude, it's like $10 here. It's
When I
crazy.
started smoking, they were camel filters,
That's what I smoked.
and
Hey, me too.
in fucking 1994, they were anywhere from 89 cents to like $1.10 a pack.
I think when I quit, they were like a little over $2 a pack.
Yeah, they got exponentially high.
Yeah.
It's $100 a carton, man.
Yeah,
If I'm going away for several days, I'm going to bring a carton of smokes with me, because when I leave, it's usually to go somewhere like way the fuck outside of civilization. Like I'm gonna be gone all week. Yeah. Whew.
Man, it's almost
Dude,
worth.
fuck.
It's almost worth driving to fucking Nevada and just stocking up.
Tobacco only grows in certain places in the country, Rob. Tobacco doesn't grow for a shit here.
Yeah,
Shout out to Rob.
my friend tried to grow some of that shit. It did not end well. And bugs, dude, like bugs, like just attack that shit.
Mad Mom says, "What the fuck is white reggae?" Well, it's actually pretty self-descriptive.
Let me tell you, it's a crime against humanity, is what it is.
Yes.
It's a crime against Jamaicans.
California has so many fucking white boy reggae bands too. They really do, and like they all got fucking. I know a dude who calls himself Todd I. Todd I.
What a turd.
Todd I.
Steve, Josh, at the next like white man's collective meeting, you need to put forward a motion to make COD reggae a crime against humanity.
I'm just gonna slap the shit out of some people.
They don't let me at the white people's collectives meetings.
Dude, you're the president right now. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I hereby disband all white people collective meetings.
Where's my DMT?
Check under your seat.
That's what the drones are going to be used for now, to deliver it.
Oh man, I saw gel tabs this week. You know how long it's been since I've seen LSD in gel tab form? Like I got all nostalgic about it. Like,
yeah, that's like high school shit.
It's like a 15-year-old Quaalude.
If you guys, this is a little fun fact from the Grateful Dead days. If you ever got any of those gel tabs that were like pyramid shaped, every hotel bathroom on the planet has that like waffle design in it. And if you take it down and you sterilize it and then you mix up your gelatin, and that's how you get the flying pyramids, or at least that's how like 90% of them were made, at least back in the day. I don't know. There might be like a mold now. I don't see why there wouldn't be, but the hotel bathroom light always worked out great. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So I've heard.
I think I covered all my bases with that. I think you got to say allegedly.
Just to keep it pairs.
Fucking dude, okay, so let's talk for a minute about, because we're all in different parts of the country. I get that me and Sleepy Josh and Glory are in California, but we're in very, very different places in California. And I want to hear like what the overall reaction where you're at is to this fake ass, rigged ass, stolen fucking election.
Well, Jersey was fucking for Biden the whole way. Like I was shocked. Like I was really shocked. Like I was like in 2016, like there were a lot of Trumpers. I didn't see any. I don't know what happened. The propaganda was strong, and like I don't know. Like the whole COVID situation, like that lost Trump a lot of favor. You know what I mean? Like everything's on his feet, so they blame him. But yeah, like I don't like over here. It was just like everybody celebrated. There were celebrations over here for Biden. Like I was like, oh snap!
Same here too. It was annoying.
It's crazy. Like even people that like are a little politically inclined, like dude, like why are you so happy about this?
I know. No,
What's going on?
Depressing.
I see people that I just follow for like anime on Twitter all of a sudden tweeting like, "Hey yo, we're getting lit now. Now that Trump's out, let's go, bro. Hey, Biden's about to win. Yes. Oh yo, the vote matters. I told you so. Let's go do it." And I'm like, "Hey, bro, I followed you for Yu Yu Hakusho gifts. Like, like not saying you can't get into politics, but like other people are celebrating Biden all of a sudden." And like I expected some manga panels.
Yeah, well, Ohio went Trump, and I was trying to tell everybody that it was. People kept saying, "Oh no, Biden's going to be competitive there." No, the fuck he's not. Are you kidding me? Ohio is red as fuck right now. We used to be like historically we're a swing state. That's what they say, which was true at one time. But we have been extremely red for a very long time, and I kept trying to tell people. I am surrounded by Trump signs. I mean, and I'm not talking like just like the yard sign you get at like campaign headquarters. I'm talking like people spent a weekend painting a sign, like a big ass sign. Like they went all out. Like there's a guy right on the street who has this huge ass sign on his fence, Trump 2020, that he painted himself, had to have spent at least a weekend on. So yeah, people here are not happy. But Governor DeWine is also, former Governor Kasich is also trashing progressives. So to me, considering I don't like progressives, that's kind of fun for me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Bro, same thing with Florida. Everybody thought Florida was gonna go blue, and I'm like, bro, I could have told you Florida was gonna go red when I was like 7. It's like to all the people who are like, "Hey yo, why does Trump keep saying that like Biden's a socialist and Kamala's a Marxist? Like, who's gonna buy that?" Like,
lots of people.
Busano in fucking
lots of people
eats that shit up. Oh my god,
dude! Like, I just came across somebody on Twitter the other day who genuinely thinks that Rachel Maddow is a leftist. Like that's a real thing that happened to me. Somebody genuinely and truly believes that Rachel Maddow is representative of the left. Like people believe that shit. It's crazy, but people believe that shit. I'm like, you have no idea what the left is if that's what you think is left. You're like, that's not even close.
They're like, it's like the moment you say like Medicare for all, UBI, like anything else, it's like, no, that's socialism. Do you have any respect? Like my grandparents fled Cuba from the oppressive Castro regime, and I'm just sitting here with like my man Fidel in the back, like it was good. like I don't give a fuck, Gusano, okay? But like it's what happens, and people really think that it was gonna I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad that the sheepdogging efforts in Florida did not prevail. So now I can go to all the people I know in Florida and be like, see, the Gusanos and the fucking like Okeechobee rednecks are too OP. We are better off just going to the streets.
Yeah. I also love the fact that Democrats
up to Georgia to canvass for the Senate runoff. And I'm like, big head. You're still sheepdogging.
Yeah. I also love, though, that Democrats are blaming John Kasich for not delivering Ohio for Democrats. Like, y'all know he's a Republican, right? Like, what are you? So you sent a Republican to do the work for Democrats, and then you expected anything other than a Republican result? Like, what is wrong with you? But when you have a parade of neocons at your convention, I guess that's what you get. I just think it's funny that they expect John Kasich to deliver Ohio for Democrats. Or do you guys, John Kasich? This is like
I know who
a
John
dumpster
Kasich
fire
is.
shit stain of a human being. Like, he is a piece of shit. So,
No, you're not wrong, but yeah, it's again. I think I said this the other day, but like I've just recently become aware that apparently you can cook up and crystallize and snort hubris, and I didn't know that, but apparently that's a thing that can happen in Santa Cruz. I had to go to Santa Cruz briefly yesterday, and like it's bad enough here in town because we just had a very high number of people who had their houses burned down, and like the general overall mood isn't super, but this town is probably like 60-40 NPR liberals and fucking Trump country. Like a huge chunk of California is Trump country. It's just not that populated. And then compared to, LA and San Jose and San Francisco, like it nullifies all of it.
No one's
Not
celebrating.
that I would encourage anyone to vote Republican or Democrat or at all. I would encourage you to surround your polling stations and prevent other people from doing it. We're gonna have to.
It's gonna get to that point.
But there was a car parade in Santa Cruz yesterday when I went down, and it was all these fucking. Oh, dude, the youngest person I saw was maybe 55. And all of these, like, let the healing begin. And we beat fascism. And oh my God, dude. Like, the fucking.
Were they all tossed off mimosas or what?
They were all wearing masks by themselves in their vehicle.
Jesus Christ.
And like, you gotta wonder if those people fucking, shower with a rain jacket on, jerk off with a condom on. Like,
dude, they're never nudes. They're fucking never nudes.
Maybe they're never nudes. Maybe they are. What show was that from?
Arrested Development. That's the one with.
That's right. That's right.
That meme I post all the time.
That's right. Fuck, I haven't seen that fucking shit. Dude, yeah, I was just fucking I went and saw my buddy in between shows here. He was like, "Hey, have you seen?" And I went, "No." And he's like, "You don't even know what I was gonna say." And I'm like, "You're gonna ask me if I saw some kind of series on some sort of streaming platform, aren't you?" And he's like, "Dude, I barely had I can't. This has been a year and a half, maybe 2.5 years at this point, really, since I just sat down and watched a series because I could, and the couple of times that I've, it's been on when I've been home, I'm like, that's a bunch of fucking propaganda.
It's hard to watch anything.
That's why I can't watch normal TV anymore. Because, every time I see a Hollywood movie, it's just like, hey, bro, what in the regime change is this? Come on, bro. Yeah. And then, they'll go into, a third world country, and they'll apply, the yellow filter to everything. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. You know what?
My husband won't watch the Marvel movies, all of the comic book movies. My husband will not even let me in the room while he's watching them because he's a comic book nerd from way back when. So he loves those movies. And then I pick them apart as he's watching them. And he's like, "You're fucking ruining this. Will you shut up?"
Oh yeah, When I was still with my kid's mom, man, she literally banned me from watching like anything with her because I would just like
Yeah.
MST3K that shit every time.
Yeah.
She's like, "Will
See,
you just shut the fuck
that's
up?"
how I am with horror movies. I can't watch horror movies because I don't actually get scared at them. So I just start laughing at them and making fun of the characters.
Or like, come on, they would never do that. Yeah, I do that too. My
I'm
husband
like,
gets
how
so
you dumb shit? Why would you do that?
yeah, super annoying. I'm like a super annoying. See, this is also why I don't watch movies because I'm also super annoying.
I feel your pain,
Yeah,
Misty.
I can't focus and I'm annoying.
No wonder
I
we're
want-
friends.
Oh,
The
speaking of being
reason
annoying
that-
though, speaking of being annoying, somebody last night when I tweeted something about Julian Assange, some guy was like, yeah, you're annoying to some, but I think that that's the way it should be until he's freed. So I'm like, okay, make Misty less annoying. Free Assange. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh yeah,
Make Misty less annoying.
yeah. And speaking of being annoying, I hear like certain progressive commentators. I won't name names, like Jordan Sheraton, but like they're just completely dismissing like the clear election fraud that's happening in this race, and I'm like, why are you trying to defend Biden here against like these clear discrepancies? Like, I don't care who wins. I just want a semblance of a free election. And
It's
so
not even, I don't even think it's about defending Biden. It's like, okay, so
their hate for Trump literally blinds them. That's what it is.
What is so difficult to imagine that maybe the Democrats might cheat too? Like, have you guys been sleeping for the past 4 years? Like 2 primaries back to back that they rigged, but suddenly they're it's not possible that they would cheat.
Dude,
Like that's just so ridiculous.
Jordan
How
Sheraton.
dare you question the integrity of the election when my team wins?
I know, right?
Dude, Jordan
If
Jordan
we
Sheraton.
lose, then it was Russia. But if we win, you cannot question anything. Shut up.
That motherfucker is calling fucking Fee and them grifters. When that motherfucker that motherfucker telethoned for like a year to get that fucking documentary made that he never fucking released. Never released it.
Yeah.
So fuck that guy. Like he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and I don't mean to name more names here, Geoff Campbell, but I mean, like, if to see grifters like calling election integrity activists who are literally following this stuff on the ground, like right wingers, is just completely asinine.
It's projection, is what it is.
Glory, doesn't Tina agree with Fee?
Tina agree with Fee on what?
On the whole election thing.
It's like, it's weird because she is like into election integrity and she's like been to events with us. But the problem is like her hate for Trump like is literally blinding her on this issue. And it's like I give some credit for her because like she has been legitimately harassed by Trump supporters at some of these events, but like, you know, you can't let that blind you from seeing the clear fraud that's taking place. And like this is the same thing I tell like my other on the ground friends that hate Trump as well, because like they've been like legitimately harassed and attacked by Trump supporters on the ground, and it's disgusting. And like to the Trumpers that did that, like I want to curb stomp them. But I mean, like if I see a random Trump supporter that I don't know, I'm going to ask them questions and I'm going to eventually get to the part where I try to de-sheepdog them and I try to have a conversation to see what we have in common. Like
Nazi collaborator.
Yeah.
that's just how I operate. Like, listen, if I have to curb stomp you, I'll curb stomp you, but I'll also try and find some common ground with you because at the end of the day, like, you're not my enemy. So it's like, yeah. Now, that being said, all these Rose DSA fucks on Twitter that I know for a fact don't get on the ground at all, they have no fucking excuse to not be talking to Trump supporters because I know damn well that they don't do anything on the ground. And the reason why I know that is because I used to be in chats with some of them and all they do is fucking phone bank and text bank and do like shitty get out the vote agendas. They're not actually getting on the ground in protest, getting into these confrontations with like Trump supporters and cops. So like y'all motherfuckers have no excuse.
true.
I
So, Steve, I have a question.
go ahead. Oh, you just cut out a bit.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So, basically, like, you got me now?
Yeah.
So, like, in a way, Barry puts these people to sleep. Can this current administration put a lid on BLM, and what are they going to do with COVID?
So they've already got the leadership of BLM. So it's up to like, I guess, mid-level activists, soldiers in that movement to educate the people that they're mentoring and they're looking out for, to let them know that the leadership of the organization ain't anything but an extension of the Democratic Party, and as important as fucking getting rid of these psychotic police is, you got to do it outside of that organization. You've got to either form a different one or like mesh with some other people that, you know, aren't co-opted. So stay away from like Sunrise Movement. And Biden already said he's going to do a national mask mandate. He said in his little acceptance speech, I was listening to Jason Burmis earlier, and he played the whole fucking speech. And he was talking about Monday morning, he'll have a task force put together with doctors and scientists and experts, which usually means like Bill Gates and Eric Schmidt, you know.
So
to get to the bottom of this and figure out how to solve it, he's already promised austerity. He's already said if people go back to work, what I do not want to happen, but what is a possibility, is they get a new lockdown and a crypto-based UBI that they can then use to attach to like social credit as they phase out paper money.
But before we even get to the UBI part, do you think there's going to be is there going to be conflict with? Obviously, Trump's not going to win. Nothing he does, like, it's decided. Like, the elite decided, like, they're moving forward.
Yeah.
So that with a mass lockdown, man, you think that's going to start uprisings from the right?
Depends on what their depends on what their thought leaders say. You know, if the fucking magic man on 8chan tells them to take to the streets, they probably would. And that, I mean, that also depends on whether or not 8chan still exists in a couple of months.
If they don't get murked.
Well, the entire Democratic Party is pro-censorship now.
Like when Juan Pasquarelli said, like about Spielberg, I'm like, man, like he's cracking down as we speak on us. He's cracking our heads right now. Like there's no way he's gonna do anything for Julian. It's not in their favor.
But so it's not. It doesn't suit any elite or powerful fucking member of the Predator. I hate the word elite. I do. It doesn't suit the Predator class to have a free Julian Assange. It doesn't, and I don't. All of these people who are well-intentioned and good-meaning, who like see a little bit of hope out of Biden and Harris because Obama balked at prosecuting and going forward with that. I was 5-10 years ago, you know, the world is or at least the people in power are much further to the right now than they were before Trump got into office.
Well, and also the ball's already in motion. So it's like Biden doesn't even have to worry about being the one to initiate, the proceedings or the extradition. That's already done for him. So all he has to do is sit back and be like, well, my hands are tied. It's already there. We just got to let it play out. He'll pull an Obama. You know what I mean? Let's see how things play out.
And
So
progressives will make a task force to help with that.
Fuck.
So Steve, Ray McGovern and Aaron Mate, they had an interview recently, and they basically spouted that by removing Trump, the intelligence community would pull back on their how hard they were going against Trump censorship, all that. How at this point, how I think very early on we're seeing quite the opposite, go down the risk management of having Biden in office. I don't see it. I never saw it. But these smart people kept saying it. You know what I mean? Was it just TDS and fear?
Let's be perfectly honest, man. Ray McGovern is entitled to his own opinion, but he lives a very, very fucking different life than the rest of us do. And he's said, with the exception of Bill here, all have the TDS. So and Aaron has flat the fuck out said oh, I'm a careerist. Yes, I am. This is my career. I want to keep
the weakest link of that organization.
And in order for him to do that, there's a handful of lines that he doesn't get to step over. And telling people not to vote for Joe Biden is definitely fucking one of them. So he's protecting his career, but he's honest about protecting his career. In Ray's case, I think it's got a lot to do with age, comfortability, and the circles that he runs in, where basically he's that he's the only guy out of his immediate group of friends that thinks Russiagate was a hoax. He said as much,
Yeah, so that's
and rather than
for him to do that,
yeah. Well, and look, man, his friends, rather than going, this guy is a veteran analyst, maybe he knows what he's talking about, they would immediately freak out on him and ostracize him. I understand why people I understand the motives. I don't agree with them, but I don't have to, and I don't have to say, oh yeah, well that was a good idea, because it's not a good idea. Joe Biden is fucking dangerous. Kamala Harris is more dangerous. Donald Trump is dangerous. You don't get elected president. You don't get selected president unless you're a fucking psychopath who's, hell bent on fucking expanding the American empire at the expense of poor people everywhere. And if they're poor black or brown people, bonus, because the whole fucking system was built on white supremacy.
Yeah, Steve, there's a question in the chat though about what we think that Trump's going to do now after into 2020, which I want you to answer because you have the best answer.
Oh God, did I already answer this question?
I don't think so. Not today.
Okay.
At least not on this show.
Donald Trump isn't going to do shit, man.
Yeah. He ain't gonna do shit.
Nobody's getting arrested. No giant fucking parade of orange jumpsuits on the way to Gitmo. No fucking he should want to pardon Julian Assange. He should want to pardon Snowden. He should want to just stick his thumb in the eye of every neoliberal piece of shit that tried to, destroy him over the last 4 years. And look, man, I'm not defending Donald Trump. I'm not. You know, like I hate this, dude. Danny Sherson and I have had this conversation, man. We're like, you have to qualify every fucking time, you know, and I hate that. Like, again, you don't get to be president unless you're a fucking scumbag willing to fucking be the servant of the real power of the nation. So, what Trump is going to do, whatever he thinks will guarantee him ratings at his new Trump TV network that I'm sure he's starting.
Yeah, Ryan.
You know,
Ryan was talking about that today.
But outside of that, I don't think he's gonna do anything like earth shattering.
And within 5 years, he'll be dancing on Ellen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's within his character to do something like that, just to like, you know, generate a big buzz and just like piss off a bunch of people. But he won't and I'm gonna keep saying that he should, but like I know he won't. It's like every once in a while when I'll do like my spams on Twitter, and like I added fucking Hillary Clinton at one point. And people were like, "Oh, don't you know she's not going to do anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." Like,
I deal with that all the time. Like, you guys, I'm not an idiot. I fucking know that Rachel Maddow is not going to talk about Julian Assange. I fucking know that Donald Trump is probably not going to pardon him. I fucking know the AOC is never going to say his name. That doesn't mean I can't come at them on Twitter in a public way, because then that exposes them. And that makes people see.
I won't do that. Doesn't mean like I'm not gonna stop doing it. Like I'm just gonna keep going at them publicly, because that's a way through which we can spread the word. And not to mention, hey, maybe we do pull a LeVar Ball and speak this shit into existence. Like maybe I do call AOC enough times to get a response from her. Like maybe like Rose McGowan saying free Assange the other day and tweeting that meme of the Democrats. Like, hey, I don't know how much that had to do with us on Twitter, but like,
I'm taking credit for it because it makes me feel good.
Go ahead. And like,
you should.
If Marcus Rashford ever says free Assange, I'm taking full fucking credit for that, because like I've been like DMing him relentlessly, and guess what? I know he probably won't respond, but it barely takes any of my time, and like there's not much cost to adding these people.
Worth a shot.
Spread the word. And hey, if they do respond, then it's a complete net positive for us. So
yes. Well, and then last night I had somebody come at me because I'm going at Donald Trump, and they're like, "Oh, he's never going to do it. You're wasting your time." And I'm like, "Okay." It pissed me off, because and this is a person who considers himself an Assange supporter. If you're an Assange supporter and you're shitting on other Assange supporters for doing whatever it takes, you can go fuck yourself, because I don't have time for that. Like we have to do whatever we can.
If
that means talking to Donald Trump, I can't stand Donald Trump. He's a piece of shit, and he's probably not going to do it. But if I can try, I'm going to. Why would you not? It's ridiculous to take stuff off the table because you don't like Donald Trump. That's so infantile.
Yeah, bro, I've talked to a lot of fucking assholes. Like, let me make that clear. I don't enjoy every conversation I have with a Trumper. I don't have I don't give someone a profound epiphany every time I try and talk to them. Yes, a lot of times they're just straight up sheepdogs. And then many times they're idiots. Many times they're assholes. Sometimes they're even racist. And sometimes they're just like unapologetic bootlickers as well. But guess what? I still fucking do it, because every once in a while I'll get a really good conversation where I can like effectively reach out to someone and make a real meaningful connection, and make a real meaningful proactive to like real change, and taking people out of legitimizing this like illegitimate system. And then like every once in a while I'll even get people thanking me. Like Friday, a lady straight up thanked me for telling her about Assange, and I'm like, thank you. And I told her back, thank you, because like she didn't know how much that meant to me. Like I fucking needed that. Because that was this weekend's been a weekend in terms of like trying to de-sheepdog people. It's been ass, but like I'm gonna keep fucking doing it. Cause
well, and the best thing about having those conversations is then those people who you do reach go talk to other people. So you're not just reaching that one person. You're reaching that one person and then everybody else that they go and talk to after that. So, I mean, it's a pain in the ass and it sucks having to deal with some of these dickwads, but it's necessary. You have to talk to people. You have to have uncomfortable conversations with people you don't agree with, or you're never going to get any change, ever.
Look, Misty, if activism was easy, liberals would do it when it wasn't sponsored by CNN.
Right.
I mean, fuck, dude, but that's activism. It's talking to people that you wouldn't ordinarily talk to, that you probably don't get along with, you know, about the thing that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
that shouldn't be controversial. Like that shouldn't make me that shouldn't, like, progressives will call me a Nazi collaborator because I think that we should be willing to talk to Trump supporters. And then, you know, like today somebody was like, oh, well, I don't reach out to people who are well-armed, well-armed fascists who are backed by the cops. And I'm like, do you actually think that every single Trump supporter is a well-armed fascist backed by the cops? No, dude, I live in small town Ohio. I'm surrounded by Trump supporters. Most of them are well armed, but I live in Ohio. We all have guns. But they're not fascists. They're just regular people who are pissed off at the system and they've been propagandized.
Yeah.
They have fallen victim to propaganda. Go ahead.
I'll put
not to mention people have the perception that, like, every time we go and talk to these Trump supporters, it's like, oh yeah, let me hear you out, buddy, and I'm gonna agree with you on every single point you make. Like, let's go, let's have a big Trump powwow here. It's like, no, I'm going up to these motherfuckers and I'm telling them the truth. And like I've had to yell in people's faces before, and you know, like I haven't had to throw any punches yet, but like if it gets to it, if they put their hands on one of my friends, then I will, because that's just the kind of person I am. Like, I'm not there to fucking, like, you know, have a powwow, like have a Trump powwow with these people. I'm going there. Yes. Am I going there like to find common ground and hope we can connect in some way? Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm being real with these people. Like, and I'm sure you guys are too.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Like, at the end of the day, these Trump supporters, like, most of them are crying for help. Like, they're like, yeah, there's a lot of assholes that are Trump supporters and racists, but most of them are crying for help. Neoliberalism, neoconservatism has ruined their lives, their communities, pumped their kids with pills. They know what Joe Biden represents.
Yep.
They're like, they don't want to go back to that. And the Cheeto man, he told them nice stories.
He did.
So like, we have to break them out of the mold. Try our hardest to like get to them, show them countervailing evidence. Like, maybe they're not gonna agree economically, but like, listen, there's common ground that we like.
I think you'd be surprised. Economically, they actually agree with us on a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that they actually agree with us on. And it's just they've been propagandized to, when they hear those things, it's socialism.
Strong. You gotta take it like phase by phase. Like,
yeah. Like
strong.
It's like deprogramming someone who's been in a cult.
Yes,
and the
that's
biggest problem with progressives is the fucking self-righteousness of the recent epiphany. Like, most of these people were hardcore Democrats not that long ago.
Yep.
And realized that they'd been sold a bill of goods. They're still being sold a bill of goods, but they think they have it figured out, you know? They at least figured out that the Democratic Party was fucking them over. But they can't take that experience of themselves being propagandized and relate it to the person who thinks that Donald Trump is fucking, you know, close to Jesus.
Yeah, I've been saying this, like Bernie Sanders and Trump supporters are like so alike in the way that they've both been extremely sheepdogged into electoral politics. Like, I agree with Bernie Sanders supporters and Trump supporters on plenty of stuff, But the common denominator I find when talking to both of them is that they all buy into like this cult of personality that keeps them
Religious.
back into this perpetual wheel of electoralism. And Anthony, like what you said about, you know, Trump supporters being like a bit of a cry for help, it's so right too, because like literally me and Johnny just the other day, we interviewed like a Black woman who was a Trump supporter, and she didn't want to be on camera, you know, presumably because she didn't want people to know who she was. But like she was saying how like she was a Democrat for all of her life, and then she couldn't stand seeing like politicians just rob the people, so she just bought into Trump's stuff about draining the swamp, and she voted for him. So it's like, nah, you're so right on that, and we need to be able to like see that.
Well, like, let me give you an example. The Hispanic community, Univision, they did their hardest. They did everything. They dragged out Obama like 3 times in the last 2 months to get Biden to vote. He lost so much support with the, like, yeah, there's a lot of Cubans, like, they believe in some wacky shit, but like, they know what they're gonna get from a Biden that come out. Like, it's so apparent. Like, they'll go for the straw man over the fake straw man. Like 9 times out of 10, they'll go for the guy that's saying exactly what they're gonna do to them against the guy that deported the most of them. Like, they're not dumb. Like, crazy. Like, they're not dumb. Like, but yeah, they shouldn't vote for Trump either. You know, like, I'll throw that caveat in it. But like,
I mean, that's kind of the problem that we're
like,
seeing now
there's
is
so
like,
much uncertainty with this Biden.
yeah, well, people now, what I find fascinating is like, you know, these progressives are so willing to completely dismiss an entire group of people, all of Trump supporters, as irredeemable racists, but they voted for Biden. You guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but Biden's a racist.
Oh, that's fake news.
Yeah.
That's
fake news.
you're reading right-wing sources and spouting right-wing
How many
propaganda.
That's not true.
No.
I'm reading Putin
Elaborating.
propaganda. It's Putin propaganda.
Yeah, bro, I can't stand the moral high ground that progressives keep.
Favor?
What's that? Oh, you slowed way down, Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back now. He just lagged for a second.
Okay.
But I think progressives are more worried about feeling morally superior than they are about actually winning.
Nah, you know what's annoying about progressives, especially something that I've noticed is like and this is something I've noticed like with their attacks, you know, again, I don't mean to name names to Geoff Campbell, but like whenever they start going at like Fee and Nico, they're always like, oh, why did you go on like White Winger's show? Like, why did you talk to Jack Posobiec or whatever his name is? And they're like, motherfucker, because I'll talk to anyone. But then the moment it comes time to like, the moment you have like a legitimate, you know, white savior complex going at them, it's like, oh no, you need to unite with them. Like, man, I know they're smearing you in a really racist and misogynist way, Fiorella, but like we gotta work together for the collective of the progressive movement. And it's like, I had to laugh when fucking people were telling like me and Fee to stop going at Geoff, because it's like, bro, like we're literally in the street talking to motherfucking Trump supporters almost every other day. And you want us, and now all of a sudden, when it comes time to like actually like know our worth and defend ourselves against the fucking white savior complex, we have to unite for them with the collective for like the good of thy holy progressive movement. You can fuck off with your peace policing, Peter.
Fuck Geoff Campbell, dude. I've seen that guy has been shitting on Nico and them for fucking years. Like, he's just a little bitch.
He's a little bitch.
The second person to ever block me on Twitter.
I've been blocked
He blocked
since
me as well.
because I called him out on his Gillum bullshit and his working for Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and then him and his whole fucking crew went on a blocking spree. If you even so much as question anything that they said, they just blocked you. And you know, they're neoliberal hacks. if you want a grifter, there you go. It's a crew of grifters. Like it's embarrassing that they're considered to be part of the progressive movement.
Yeah, he was replying to that whole thread of me calling him out and like quote tweeting and talking shit about like our kind from behind a fucking block.
Wow, really? Really?
Like, yeah, I was
Oh, damn.
to see it. I opened that shit in another browser. Cause like I saw that people were replying to someone that I couldn't see, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? So finally I went to another browser and found that Geoff was talking shit about us from behind a block. And I'm like, wow, you fucking coward. Geoff, you are certified punk ass and a fucking ass coward. Like, please, it's annoying as hell. And then, like, of course, his fucking sock accounts decided to go at me and stalk me for the next 2 days after. Like, I give a flying fuck. I'm too busy trying to record the fucking surveillance state on the ground and see what's happening with that.
Yeah, that guy is just a little bitch. It's like, go get on the streets and then we can talk.
I've seen people say this, like I got a line, like people like, oh, Pasta's a libertarian, like, oh, like these guys are right wingers. I'm like, you like Bernie, right? Nobody defended Bernie in the primary more than Pasta with the exit poll like discrepancy. Like, bro, like you people don't walk the walk. You it's all talk. It's all Chuck Rocha. Like just
bro.
It's all about finessing for a check.
Yeah, bro. Me, Fiorella, Pasta had to leave early to go do a stream, and then and literally just a couple other meter. We sat in a fucking board of supervisors meeting for 9 fucking hours
Jesus Christ.
to talk about election integrity because the LA County primary was a fucking disaster that they paid $300 million for. So like we were the only ones there, you know. I didn't and give credit to Tina Bird because she was there as well, but like no other independent media was there. Like, you know, Jordan Sheridan didn't cover it. Fucking TYT sure as hell wasn't there.
Jordan still live at his parents' house in Connecticut?
I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care.
I think he's in New York.
He can get the fuck out talking shit about shit that he doesn't know about or that he doesn't go to find out. Like all these progressives all of a sudden acting like they know everything about election integrity. Y'all can fuck all the way.
I defended fucking Sheraton too. I kind of want to bring up those fucking those fucking smears that weren't even true just to be a dick. Give him the Assange treatment.
I remember you were in the first interview for Gordon. And you're like I wish this guy would stop, like just promoting divisions. Like Trump supporters said this. Trump, like, bro, like, what are you trying to get? Like, yeah, the stupid Trump supporters. Like, what are you trying to get at? What are we getting from this like content? Like I owe a lot to you, Steve. Like I have like a compass that I use. Like, came from like just things that you pointed out. Like, these people are charlatans. Like, oh, went out.
Jordan Charlatan. That shit with the documentary pissed me off.
I wanted to have like empathy for Jordan because he got done way dirty.
Yeah,
he got done dirty, but
and I had hope that like he would come out of that process like, oh, I learned some shit. Let me tell you about the shit that I learned. Let me tell you what I learned about how fucking media companies pit themselves against each other, not because they have huge ideological differences, but because they need to keep that division alive, because the division kettles people and it puts them right into a corner. And then you feed them full of ideology, whether or not it even fucking makes sense or has a basis in reality. And because we replaced religious energy with political identity in this country, because we're smart, then when that ideology is challenged, you retreat further into your corner and you're only willing to support people who reinforce your ideology. And that's what Status Quo's done. That's what TYT's done. That's what fucking Tom Hartman's Padawan has done. It's like the YouTuber business model, and I hate it.
I would just really like some goddamn intellectual consistency, for the love of fucking God. I mean, if you get pissed off because Donald Trump does something, then you should get pissed off when the Democrats do the exact same thing. It shouldn't be, oh, my team did it, so it's okay, and then the other team did it, so now I'm pissed off. Like, just be fucking consistent in your criticisms. Is that too much to ask? Like, is that too much to ask?
Yes.
Apparently it is. Because, I mean, that's what... I mean, I like that's what I try to do all the time. I try to be consistent in all of my criticisms, and I don't know why it's so fucking difficult for people to do it.
Yeah, bro, leftists can come at me all they want for my clear love for sports. At the end of the day, I channel all the energy I have into like tribalism and team sports and unfairness and like yelling at refs for not being biased enough. I channel that back into sports. Y'all channel it into fucking politics. So like, and same thing with religion as well. Like, you know, all up to anybody who's like agnostic or atheist, but like, for all the people with the rose in their bio that want to parade how atheist they are in the face of like Christian Trump supporters just to get under their skin for no reason. It's like y'all motherfuckers like transferred all your religious energy into thy holy Bernard Sanders. And that's where I came up with the nickname Thy Holy Bernard Sanders, because that's what he's like to y'all. He's like y'all fucking God. And like, so say what you want about me. I keep my tribalism in sports and I keep my religion in religion. So fuck you guys. This is gonna be. I'm going on a shit talking charade right now, but
that's what these streams are for.
Go ahead.
It's true. That's exactly what these streams are for.
Bring on the talking of the shit.
It's Festivus.
Yeah. And speaking of shit talking, I don't mean to name more names, Crystal Ball, but
we got issues with her.
I feel like I should just sit back and like just let Glory go. Like, just...
Right? Yeah.
Crystal Ball's a problem.
Once she cackled at fucking Julian Assange being fucking tortured, I'm like, oh, well, she's a psychopath.
Well, and then they had Andy Ngo on their show, and he's good friends with what the fuck his name is, Saga or whatever.
Oh, fucking Andy Ngo boots left unlicked, please.
Yeah. I mean, does the left not? Oh, it's really frustrating to me because, you know, it's not like the left doesn't have historical reference for, you know, controlled opposition and infiltrators. And then these people are paraded in front of your face and it could not be more obvious. And you like slobber all over them. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Well, hey, speaking of Andy and no boots left unlicked, if TYT ever comes to a protest, which they won't, I'm telling everybody they're KTLA or their plants just to fuck with them. I'm sorry. like y'all had your motherfucking chance to get out to these protests and like protect us by recording the police or like actually get shit out there to your millions of followers about what's really happening in LA, and you fucking did it. You sat on your ass. Anna Kasparian sat in her high throne. Cenk Uygur sat on his $20 million loan from Katzenberg. Cenk Katzenberg, the union, his head ass. So if the other white boy that always makes me fall asleep, and I don't even bother to remember his name.
Iderola.
and fucking tough guy Georgia socialist Ben Dixon, who decided to take his fucking grift over here, talking all this shit about, I took it on the chin from Democrats' head ass. Fuck off. And if y'all motherfuckers ever come to a protest, like, I don't mean to be petty, but I'm gonna be fucking petty and tell everybody your plans or your KTLA.
Ben Dixon cracks me up because somebody somebody commented on one of his tweets that he had me blocked, and he was like, "Oh, you know, I'm sorry, I'm sure it just got caught up or whatever." That lasted about 36 hours, and I was blocked again.
Did you make a good friend?
I did. I made another friend. I have so many friends, you guys. All the friends are mine.
I don't get Ben Dixon. I don't.
I don't either.
Like, I mean, I don't get why people listen to him.
I don't either.
He doesn't say anything new, or he doesn't say anything that like challenges you.
But come on, Steve, you're the one that says this. He tells people what they want to hear. That's why they listen.
Tim Black rehabilitated him.
Yeah, Tim Black can go fuck himself too.
Word.
He rehabilitated.
I don't know if I'm blocked by him yet.
When Ben did that Bloomberg story, Tim grifted his ass all the way over there. He brought him to a hotel room. They had a live stream together. It's crazy. Like,
I missed
these
all
people
that.
do whatever for attention.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean, to be honest, I haven't watched
about,
Tim Black's show in like 4 years.
Yeah, I haven't watched Tim Black in ages.
Yeah, me neither. And when I did, it was to give him fucking money to ask him to support Julian Assange, and he couldn't even read out the whole fucker. I'm like sitting back as he's quote tweeting me in all caps, and like someone in his chats even told me that like he threw a whole hissy fit during a stream about it as well. I'm like, your ass gotta be motherfucking kidding me. Like, this grown-ass dude is throwing a whole ass temper tantrum over
Wasn't the first one either.
Like his excuse for that too was fucking weak. Like, oh well, I don't have to read it all out. At least I read it. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, I'm focused on black issues.
Hey, Tim Black must have never played sports, because like if you played sports, then you're used to getting called out like that.
I have no information
I was about to get
on
off
Black's
topic.
athletic career. I don't. I mean, I played sports.
I was about to get off topic, but I heard yesterday that before Greenwald left, he was trying to get a Assange segment on in the Intercept, and it was going to be either Richard or Kevin.
It was Kevin.
Like, they said like, oh no, we don't like his ideology or something. Like, it was something stupid like that. Like,
oh, so it was it was Kevin they were talking about.
It was.
Oh,
it was Kevin. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because in that article, Glenn says something about like, and you know what you were just saying, and they would like Glenn did a couple of pieces, but they had offered all, you know, to use all of Kevin's work. Glenn had, and yeah, something about, and dude, Kevin doesn't really, I don't see him espousing a political ideology.
That's why I thought it might have been Richie.
I'm like, what the fuck?
But it was. Kevin confirmed it later in that thread, like a couple hours later when he had gotten a hold of Glenn, and Glenn confirmed it for him. Kevin Gostola is too edgy for you?
He's so chill.
I know, man. And like incredibly diplomatic about like
he's like one of the most non-intimidating
like,
looking people ever. I mean that in a nice way, but like you look at him and you're like, oh, he looks nice.
He looks like a nice guy.
Like you could see like your grandma being like, oh, look at him, you know, like he's so cute.
He's such a nice boy.
So diplomatic. He's so like when he was on my show, he was like, I think he was talking about Brazil, and he's like, oh well, I may let my politics, I may expose my politics a little bit here, and I'm like, dude, just let it go, let it rip. And he was like,
listen to him for like 7 seconds, and he's like one of the most like non-intimidating, like polite, cordial, like political, you know, journalists out there. Like you go into this stream and it sounds like I'm about to fucking kill you. Like you go on Twitter and it sounds like Misty's about to fucking shoot you. But like, you know, you go to Kevin's stream and it's like, hey guys, so today we're going to talk about, you know, the recent court hearings with Julian Assange. And, you know, I might espouse a bit of my political ideology. I hope you guys don't mind. And it's like, oh, Kevin, of course we don't mind.
Well, the good news is I don't have to worry about, you know, job security or burning bridges, or I don't want to be in that club. I'm all good. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say whatever the fuck I want, like it or not.
Like Jimmy says, like Jimmy says, imagine imagine being part of that class, the journalist class.
It must suck.
It's a joke.
It must suck, bro. To not be able to
kiss ass.
Yeah, just like have to kiss ass and like to not be able to talk like mad shit the way I do. Like I've been co-hosting for almost a month here. Like y'all know I like to talk shit on this show. Like I and like sometimes I like to go on rants too that I can't
Or
hold
you say
back.
the truth about Obama.
Yeah, that like may have a couple cuss words thrown in there. And like I like to be able to talk about like my on the ground experiences and talk about like my real encounters with like the surveillance state. But you know, like if I wasn't able to do that on like Kyle Kalinski's show, I would go fucking insane. It's like
Yeah, Kyle's become a real disappointment.
I
used to like Kyle way back in the day.
Me too. Yeah, to be fair to him, I used to like him.
I saw his show once.
I saw Kyle on.
Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
I saw
Kyle on Jamaro, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this guy." Like he's pushing Justice Debs. He's like, "Listen, guys, I know third party's hard, but we have like." I know he said, "I know the Democratic Party sucks, but it's impossible." He sounded like simple. It's impossible.
I mean, in all fairness, he was one of the co-founders of it, so I expect him to be on board with those guys.
But the thing is, I don't think he's with the Justice Dems anymore.
he left. He left.
Yeah,
he left when they got rid of Jank, because Jank was another co-founder,
and then joined the TYT network.
Yeah.
I thought he was already on the TYT network, but at that point. He's been on there a long time. Yeah, he's been on there.
Oh, then maybe it was what's the other dude?
Humanist Report.
Mike.
Yeah.
Well, they protect him from getting censored, right? Something like that.
They don't get censored on TYT.
Yeah, they got censored. What?
He doesn't either. Mike doesn't. David.
No, he's on the TYT network. They get a hall pass.
Are you talking about Fig Roll?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That guy.
The Humanist Report.
They don't get
what the fuck that means?
What a fucking terrible show.
Oh my god! Don't even get Jesse started on those names. Secular Talk and Humanist Report. Jesse,
he brought it up during our interview, and I was like, "No, Jesse, that is a good point." That like 4 million.
I have heard some rants from Jesse on that. It's pretty funny.
I mean,
Jesse, hearing him rant is funny anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine a Jesse rant.
It's very calm and quiet and slow and methodical and
Yeah, all love Jesse, all respect, and I have so much love for Jesse, but I think his rants would take on a much different tone from Misty's rants.
Yeah.
Fuck your faves.
Yeah. Oh.
I watched Kalinski's show once in 2015. And I went.
When he first came on the scene, I watched him a little bit. It was maybe 6 months, and I was like, okay, I've had enough of this guy.
Yeah, it took a couple of minutes for me, and I'm like, oh, he's a rich kid from upstate New York and has never experienced a moment's want or pain in his entire life. I'm not going to learn anything from this guy.
Well, I mean, even when I did watch him, you raise a good point. I only watched him for I think a couple months at most because I literally just got tired of his shit. Yeah. It's literally the same format. Okay, what did MSNBC talk about today? Okay, let me give you my commentary with some snarky out of context clips and a couple cuss words thrown in there now and then. Or if he wants to get spicy, he'll throw in a little campaign ad analysis. And it's okay, this is boring now. Let me can I get some on the ground shit now so I can know what's really happening?
He did mention Assange a hell of a lot more than the rest of TYT.
He had a whole
Who, Kyle?
Yeah, he mentioned
Which
him
he
quite a bit.
hasn't mentioned him a lot. That's
Not
saying something.
not lately, but he used to mention him more.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Speaking of
Yeah,
that, like, what?
Huh?
I
No,
think
go
I-
ahead, Gord.
Who's on first?
Oh, okay,
No,
yeah.
go
I was
ahead,
gonna
go
say,
ahead,
like
go
it was one of the saddest things ever to witness, like Jordan Cheriton, like taking one of his token times to mention Assange. Who is, I think his tweet was like, "Oh, if Biden should win, one of the first things we should push him left on is freeing Julian Assange." And I'm like, yeah, the most. No, because it gets even sadder. It was so sad because just every one of those replies was just a Rose account going, now why would you make that a priority? Why would you make freeing one man more important than Medicare for all? Are you kidding me? We're in a pandemic and you want to make freeing
Yeah,
Assange
you ain't gonna get
careful?
these fucking people. They know they're not gonna get shit without a free press. They just don't fucking care.
Yeah. My biggest issue with him even saying that was I can't even get progressives to say Julian's name. And you think they're going to pressure Joe Biden?
Bro,
Go
I can't even,
yourself.
we
Live
can't
in
even
another world.
pay Tim Black to mention his full name, and you think the
I know.
progressives are going to say it for free?
No.
Like,
AOC is not saying Julian Assange's name. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Bernie Sanders is not going to say his name. That's not going to happen. They are
Put a gag order.
cowards.
Put
They're
a gag
cowards.
order on his campaign.
Fuck their gag order.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, fuck your gag order. If you're a progressive and you claim to have be going in there to fuck shit up and stand up against the establishment, and you're in there capitulating at every turn, and you're not flipping some fucking tables, then you're useless. Get out of the way. Go fuck yourself. I'm over these stupid.
You don't get to keep your podcast that way.
Oh, then I can't talk to John Kasich. Damn it.
Yeah. Rob Juno has a question for you, Anthony. What brought you to the show? I always wonder how people found this show.
You invited me.
Okay.
Tomorrow's chat.
Oh, that's right.
You were like, check my chat, check my show. I'm like, all right. I think you had R.I.P. Jason Carney. Yo, I meant to say that. That was a good dude, bro.
Man, I miss Jason. I'd been working on the site and I had to take a bunch of thumbnails and I had to go through them to make sure they're all the right size. And there's so many of him in there. It was just really upsetting.
He was on 30 times or something like that.
Man, I learned a lot from him.
That dude was one of the most thoughtful. He would always tag me in shit.
He left an impact on me.
Yeah, even on Twitter, he would tag me in shit that he knew I cared about. That most people wouldn't even think about. If he would see an article about something that had to do with autism, because I have an autistic child, he would tag me in that shit. He was constantly thinking of others and making sure that they were seeing things that he thought that they were interested in. He was just a good dude.
Yeah, that one's been the worst death this year, in my opinion, was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love the shows you guys had. You guys had great chemistry. You could tell it was two buddies. Y'all didn't agree on everything, but it was two old buddies just getting together.
He would call me and be like, "All right, man, this is gonna take 4 or 5 hours."
Got some shit to get off my chest.
Oh, okay. And we'd sit there and fucking go round for round, man. He still, did until the bitter end thought that Bernie Sanders was gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I'm me. And he would still talk to me every fucking day because grown-ups can disagree on some shit and still have a conversation.
That was a real man right there.
I just
but you're gonna miss them convos, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I have been since fucking June. But yeah, dude, he was a fantastic human being. Yeah, I mean, I knew the guy for like 6 or 7 years or something like that. And fucking all of our conversations were like that, you know. I mean, fucking,
Yeah, man.
but
It left the impact on me. Like, yeah, like I'm learning something, and like these guys are like they're having good conversations as well. Like, just talking about life, you know, like not something readily available. Let me put it to you that way. Everything feels scripted, but like your show's different. It was just and like
We definitely not
yeah,
scripted.
We're definitely not scripted.
like you know how much shit I learned from you, Steve. Like it's crazy. Like when COVID happened, I was like, I knew more shit than half these YouTubers because just from Jason Berman's alone, just from Corbett and like you opened that door for me. Like you opened a lot of doors for me. Like I'm a savage now, thanks to you.
oh yeah, thank you.
I get it. Like I'm a lot more jaded now since I started, getting involved with this show and the vigils. But like, I've learned so goddamn much in the last year. Like
Yeah,
it's
just in the last year. Yeah.
No, and one thing as well is like, being in the spheres of like indie media, it like pushes me to do my own research and like seek the answers on the ground for myself to be like, okay, let me go to a protest to see what the police response is. Like, let me go and look into and like do my own research to look into it. In that way, it's like been super good. And like, I mean, I don't know if let's see, I don't know if I think I might have told Steve and Josh, but I don't know if I've said it live. But like I came into SND because Steve modded the Nico v Yellow Vest America debate, and like I watched that glorious car crash, the debate, and I was just like I was like, Nico did his thing, Opie kind of flailed around, and I was like, hey yo, damn, this mod is lit, bro. And of course everybody in the comments was just like, why is this mod so biased? Why is he adding his 2 cents to everything? I'm like, hey, what you mean, bro? This mod is lit. He's spitting
My
facts.
fucking show.
Yo, that debate was so funny, yo.
But no, I mean seriously, like, why does the
It's
moderator
like
talking?
Steve,
Fuck
like
you! It's my show. I'm not gonna talk. Like,
Steve just goes to yellow vest, like yeah. Steve just go to yellow, like yeah, dude, like Bernie did this, Bernie like bro,
it was
like
bad, dude.
you got the losing
It
argument, like,
was.
don't be bad.
Didn't he like shit on you because you had to get up and take a piss?
Yeah, we've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Hey man,
Drank like 3 bottles
yo,
of
can we
water and
go
a bunch
play?
of fucking kratom tea. Yeah, I gotta go take a leak, man.
I'll be
I
back.
hurry. Won't take more
Yo,
than
you know what I
15 or
wanted
20
to tell you
times.
guys?
Fucking, yeah.
He just started flailing
I
at
wanna tell you
Steve and
guys.
fucking walking off screen.
He's like, I gotta drain it. I gotta wait.
Fuck, man, that shit was funny though, dude. And I didn't say anything to anybody about it for like 6 months. And the one time I say something, Obi pops up out of nowhere, unblocks me, freaks out on me, and then blocks me again.
I hate it when people do that. Oh,
Jeez.
It's so
And like, I'm
juvenile.
still trying to feel like I'm reading the shit like you. How long have I been living in your head, buddy? You know, like what the fuck?
Rent
Me?
free.
Me? No,
Rent
come
free, bro.
on.
Well, word on the streets is that Steve still lives rent free in Tim the CIA tool's head. So
Oh, that fucking guy.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Oh
Yo,
my god,
that dude,
there was
that
this
dude he's in the Grifton Hall of Fame, dude.
man.
He's in the Grifton Hall of Fame.
I would
There,
like to officially challenge Tim Pool to an arm wrestling contest.
Dude, there was this chick on Twitter recently that fucking dressed up like him to do a stream, and dude, she looked just fucking like him, like with the shitty beard and everything, dude. Like it was just glorious.
Well, now I
I
gotta go
can't
find
show you
that.
the
That sounds
meme
great.
of the fucking picture of Ted Pool that I have. Somebody drew it. It's fucking like I can describe it, but I can't show it because they'll shut me down. But it's basically just like one of those really bad internet sort of, stick figure type drawings, and it's a ball sack squeezed up at the top with a little beanie on it.
Hell yeah.
That's Tim Pool. Dude, like Tim Pool's so trash. He said Bellingcat was a reputable source.
Yeah.
On Syria.
Oh.
On Syria, dude.
Well, I mean, that's on brand for Tim Pool. That's his. I mean, that's right up his alley.
Yeah.
Bro, who defended fucking Pete Buttigieg? And I'm like, yo.
Well, CIA, they stick together, yo.
Dude,
No,
he started that fucking video that he did about me, like basically calling me the entire conspiratorial left. Because that was the thing. He starts it off and he's like, but we all know that there's conspiracy theorists on the right, but there's also conspiracy theorists on the left, and some of them think that little CIA Pete worked for the CIA, which I never said, by the way. And then he goes, the Daily Beast to the rescue.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To the rescue. The Daily Beast.
Isn't that the one with fucking Clinton's daughter on the board or some shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh. We live in a country.
Yeah, the Daily Beast makes the Guardian look reputable.
Damn.
I don't know about that, but it's pretty bad.
I mean, but yeah.
They both have their days.
And then he fucking okay. The only reason I did that interview with the fucking dude from the Daily Bootlicker was because I knew it was going to be a fucking smear piece. And I'm like, I got 1,200 subscribers.
Yeah.
I could deal with the bump,
So yeah, that's what I keep telling people. Like when people get mad about going on Fox News, fucking exploit the shit out of Fox News, you guys. Like, go on that platform. Are you kidding me? Exploit the shit out of them. And then somebody, no, listen, hold on, because I'm going to rant. Somebody got me the other day and told me that Glenn Greenwald going on Tucker Carlson, he only does that because Tucker tells him what to say, and he only allows him to say things that help him push fascism. Really? And since when does Glenn Greenwald going on to defend Julian Assange and fucking free speech defend fascism? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody doesn't understand what fascism means. Because
he's fighting fascism in Brazil.
It's unbelievable. Like, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me?
Misty, I'll have you know, if you don't define fascism within the narrow definition that white CIA-friendly socialists use, then you are, in fact, a fascist yourself.
Those people voted for Joe Biden.
One of these days, I know you're talking about Vaush or Vosh or whatever his name is. Like, I've never seen the show. I just yesterday saw a picture of the guy for the first time. He looks like fucking teenage comic book guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking sure. Like,
he's fucking terrible.
Hey, bro,
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
One of these days, I'll hate myself enough to like watch 5 minutes of it or 2 minutes of it, but I'm not there yet.
Listen, Vosh is a fucking plant. Like he's America's most CIA friendly socialist. On top of that,
no, he's an anarcho-Bidenist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
And then
every coup except Bolivia because it's too obvious.
Yep. And he's also a racist to make it even more Hollywood dad. So like he went from casual infiltrator to straight up showing up at protests like, salutations, fellow rioters. Please, I have read the signal chats, but please tell me, where will we be doing the looting and the destruction of property? I have a pile of bricks here to assist you, fellow hoodlums. Let us destroy this business next to the security cams. Oh, what? No, I am not a plant. No, I wasn't at a CPUSA meeting last. That wasn't me. You must be thinking of a different white man.
I mean, we do kind of look alike, you know, like white people in general.
Yeah. He's got this fuckboy face. He's an F-boy. He looks like he could be a fed on the low. Like, if he's not a fed, he's a useful idiot for sure.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he's not a plant.
He's a little fuckboy fed. Let's be real.
I mean, look, dude, I
wouldn't put it past.
Bugs the shit out of me about the left in America is that we have a wealth of history about left and left-leaning movements being infiltrated and co-opted, if not started originally by intelligence.
CIA.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's one of those things where like nobody wants to be the person to admit they got duped.
Yeah.
So rather than be like, oh, shit. Yeah, all right. Fuck. You know, it's you're a Nazi collaborator, or you said something on a show one day that I disagreed with, and therefore we're canceled. Or yeah. We have
that wealth of history, and then people like Peter Dow puts out a couple woke tweets, and everybody's like, "Oh, Peter Dow's our comrade." Like, what is wrong with you guys? Are you kidding me? Peter Dow, the dude works side by side with David fucking Brock, and you are like welcoming him with open arms, with like no hesitancy. You guys are idiots.
The only good thing that ever came out of Peter Dow was Peter Douche.
Oh, come on, Barrett was lit. Barrett was lit.
Yeah, shout out to Pat. I wonder if he'll still talk to me.
He might.
I wouldn't.
He's Pat the Independent now.
He's going very different directions.
Yeah,
he's pretty cool though. I found it. I
love the guy. I do. I'd have him on right now. You know, he's fucking dreamy. Have you seen him?
He is rather dreamy.
Yo, Steve. What's up with this dude Niall? Yo, this dude's
dude.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Let Steve go.
So,
bro, I was like, yo, this guy is bonkers.
Yeah.
He's like,
no, he is.
He's calling all you guys grifters. I'm like, dude.
I have a job. I'm a fucking carpenter. I do that shit 5 days a week for my rent and bills. I do this show to ease my own mind about the fucked up reality that we have.
Motherfucker is a socialist landlord. He's a socialist landlord.
So, look, dude. Okay, so a year or so ago, Niall went and fucking DM'd like every content creator that he'd ever seen, saying that he was going on a 30-day water fast for burning. So I was like, oh, fuck, sure. You know, and I had him on. And then he had me on his show a couple of times, and he knew who I was. He knew what my positions were, my thoughts are on shit. He had me on for debate coverage with that fucking Fraggle-looking Chris dude. I can't remember his last name.
I saw that show.
That dude had anarchist next to one of the squad in his bio.
Yes. I know who you're talking about now. Yes.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that show.
Like like
that guy hates me.
this is me saying this about another human being. That dude looks homeless. All right. And that's me saying that.
Man, that's funny.
You know, and no offense to the unhomed, I myself have been homeless. Fucking a couple of times on purpose, because I thought it'd be fun to just sort of fucking hitchhike across the country and not really, have a destination in mind. And then once after the fucking housing and financial collapse, 2008 and 2009, I was homeless for about 5 months with kids. It sucked. Like,
Hell yeah.
really sucked. Fucking, and working every single fucking day. It was just, there was no available. I ended up living in downtown San Jose for 15 months as a result of this before we could get back to Bowling Creek. Like, it sucked, dude. Sucked. We got fucking, California got wrecked in 08 and 09. Man, fucking, it was bad.
It never recovered here.
So Niall, at one point during the primary, decided that Tulsi Gabbard was a secret right-wing plant, and that she was also a fascist, and that if anyone supported Tulsi Gabbard, they by default were also secret right-wing plants and de facto fascists. So he built up this like entire world of fucking just mad righteousness in his fucking stalwart belief that Bernie Sanders walked on fucking water.
Hey,
And
people in the chat don't know who Niall is.
that's fine. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just telling a story.
Okay, they're just confused.
He makes
I tried to set it up by saying he was the guy who did the water fat. At any rate, man, he's a dude who he's got a show. I think like 8 people are subscribed to it or something like that. Like, I genuinely felt bad for the dude and fucking did a show. Like, I did. And I didn't have a lot of subscribers at the time either. Like, I still don't, because YouTube fucks me like I'm hot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jesus, man, it's bad. But at any rate, he had me on the day that Tulsi dropped out. And he had that Obi dude, the yellow vest dude, on.
Oh God.
At the same time. And I had that Obi dude agreeing with like everything that I would say. And Niall was just getting angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier. And I'm like, dude, he was having these like violent fantasies about beating Tulsi Gabbard to death and shit like that, like in a meltdown. I made the dude this mad. I fucking made him freak out so hard that he had a violent, like, beat to death fantasy about Tulsi on his live stream. And then I'm like, but dude, it's not like we have free and fair elections in this country. At some point, we got onto election integrity. He wouldn't hear a word about it, booted me from his stream, kicked me off of his stream, blocked me on Twitter. And now to this day, like, runs around fucking just freaking out anytime he sees my name. Like, I'm his trigger.
Oh yeah, I get some of that from him now too.
Niall Elkin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he realized I ran the show a while back, and he fucking like he either unfollowed me or blocked me. I don't remember.
I'm blocked.
I'm not. I have his Twitter right here, Niall Elkin. Shit, you can't read it. Fuck it. But
yo, that dude's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, he's a little odd.
Yeah.
I tried to link it in the chat, but
and
I'm like,
that fucking horse brigade fucking idea he had was the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
The what?
He had this idea for like the horse corpse, like CORPS, like, and that's gonna save America. Like, dude, I don't remember the specifics, but it was fucking retarded. Sorry, I shouldn't say that word, but like, it was really fucking stupid, dude. Stupid.
No, I mean, look, there's a reason we don't talk. You know?
I would have been fine with
Yeah,
him.
that
I
dude
liked having
sucks.
debates with the guy, but like then he got all fucking weird and just like he got all religious with the Bernie man, and it's just lost his fucking mind.
Dude,
Same with the guy
Now,
you
now
said looked
he moved
homeless.
from Bernie. Now AOC is his god.
Oh
Oh,
Jesus,
Talking
really?
about AOC.
That's really
I mean,
Yeah,
fucking
that's
on
just
brand.
on fucking brand.
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys watching
I
progressives
couldn't
talk
write
about a
enough
Democratic
anymore.
primary in 2024 is some of the funniest fucking shit
There,
I've ever seen.
It's so sad.
He
It's
cussing
like, oh,
at Nico and Fee because they were calling AOC's bullshit, and he was getting mad about that. And like he had a debate with a dude. The dude's like, "Yo, they won't even endorse shit." He just changed the subject. He's like, he just conceded. He's like, "I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna convince me." Like,
No,
that dude,
man.
yo, he's something
He's
else.
got the full conviction of a true believer and all of the wonderful things that come with that. And
Yeah.
like, yo, dude, I still maintain that everybody is on a path and that nobody is at the exact same spot that you are on that path. But there's some people who have decided that where they are is far enough
He fell off a cliff.
and they've got no desire to go any further. They're very comfortable with where they are. And it's only going to take some sort of like unignorable fucking massive event before they go any further on their path.
what is AOC
Like,
gonna have to
that's
like?
honestly, that's most people.
Is AOC gonna have to drag a puppy out in the middle of the street and fucking like kill it?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. For some people,
No,
like
dude,
there's
all
who voted
AOC
for the
has to
CARES
do is
Act.
all she has to do is like go on Jimmy Dore's show and he'll fucking head explode and disavow her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she voted for the CARES Act. Like, what else does she need to do, you guys? Like, what? I mean,
I don't
she
even
deferred
know.
the caucus leadership on a fucking another coup, another illegal coup. Like, she's not your friend. She's not your friend.
What do you mean she's
CIA
not
more
my friend?
immunity.
Played Among Us on Twitch.
Fuck
I
your
thought that was
faves, Glory.
cool.
Fuck your faves.
It'd be way
Steve, but
easier
like,
if we just stopped making heroes out of politicians and fucking pundits and like, oh, well,
I don't know, had a general
Actual
strike,
action?
maybe had a general strike, or something that would actually hurt their pocketbook.
I think that you know what we may for the first time have a galvanized enough portion of the electorate and disaffected Trump supporters to get a tax strike.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Do
wouldn't
you
that be-
guys even think we're gonna make it in 2024? I don't think we're gonna make it in 2024.
I think it's gonna. I think this is probably. Well, okay, I don't think. I think it could be. I think it could be the last election that we have. I think the potential for it is there. I think
Yeah.
the conditions are right.
I like, yeah, I got this bad feeling. Man.
yeah. That's why I keep saying I want to go into the
The
fucking woods and
conditions are
hide.
definitely right.
Well, that's what's so fucking hilarious about progressives. Literally, like the election ended, like was called like a day or two ago, and
It's
they're already talking about
embarrassing.
Democratic primary 2024. And I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy.
Ugh.
They already rigged the last two. What more? I
It's
mean,
embarrassing.
are you ready for them to third time's a charm? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you.
I want whatever the
Well,
fuck they're
I mean, we're
smoking.
talking about people that have put what amounts to their faith into an electoral system that they know isn't legitimate, but it's what they know.
Right.
And it is much more comfortable to be like, supportive of a cause that you know is doomed to fail than to go out and try something different.
So
Yeah.
when you think we, Steve, when you think we're gonna get in the next war? I'm guessing within a year.
Oh,
for sure. 6 months.
absolutely.
Oh,
Maybe
fuck.
not even
There-
that.
I mean,
This is my theory. Trump's gonna blame Iran before he leaves, type shit. That could happen. He's like, oh, like I don't know,
he'd
this
rather
guy,
blame
like,
China, I think.
Yeah.
either or. Does it really
Dude,
matter?
we talked about Iran today with Morgan, and Iran's not fucking around, you guys. Like, everybody seems to think that, like, you know, Iran's not a problem. Iran's a fucking problem. Like, this is not like going to be somebody we can just walk all over and it's not going to be an issue. Like, they will come for us.
Well, the morale of these countries is incredibly high in comparison to ours. Like, if we genuinely fought a war with Iran, we'd probably lose, honestly, just because they have like the fight in them. Like, we don't. We have oligarchs who want to use tools to fight for them. They have the active fight. It's the reason why, like, the war in Syria hasn't ended after fucking decades. Like, after all the colonialism, all the propaganda, and all the literal terrorists and all the like war bullshit they've dealt with, they're still there and going strong. Like, the morale of the Syrian people is fucking admirable. And like, you know, same, and you know, it goes for like every population affected by US imperialism. Like, fucking Cuba's been under tough sanctions and a damn like blockade and embargo for decades now, and they're still going. They sent out like their own fucking doctors during the pandemic while under US sanctions. Like, that's like fucking like solidarity. Like, geez, you go, guys.
Hey, we got
heads up. Morgan's in the chat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Morgan.
that.
Hi. She's great.
We got to get Morgan on again. You're muted, Steve.
Muted.
Unmute.
Yeah,
There's like
they
almost
have a ton of new articles out about. Seriously, talk to them about Space Force. Super interesting. If you want, I mean, you guys like
Morgan,
having.
I would love to have you back on. DM me and let me know if you're available the Sunday after Thanksgiving or the one following that. Always welcome back on.
So
Morgan Artikina. I think I said that right. There's almost 90 million people in Iran. Like, it's not a little country. And it's mostly gnarly ass mountains when it's not unforgiving fucking desert. That's not going to be the people who just fucking roll over.
Yeah.
I don't know why we can't figure that shit out, dude. The people who have lived in the Middle East for fucking centuries and centuries and centuries don't just go, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Imperialism, sure. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, you know, we tried having our own agency and we just feel better off being ruled. No, that's if our foreign policy was based on genuine intelligence as opposed to lust for acquisition of somebody else's natural resources, we would probably figure that bit out. I get that it's less profitable, but maybe, you know, maybe profit isn't the end all be all.
Oh, lies.
Blasphemy. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Steve, this common sense doesn't sound good for the stock market.
Steve.
How what?
What'd
I do?
What? No, I think Anthony was trying to get your attention.
I'm present.
Oh no, I was saying, damn, yo. So, what do you think about the TPP in conjunction with this Great Reset? What does it play into all of this?
Well, now that it looks like, the powers that be have decided that Biden and Camilleri are going to occupy the White House, that means the TPP is back on the table. As to what that does with like the Great Reset and the fucking financialization of nature is it just helps pick winners ultimately, you know.
And Max Kaiser was talking about this too, that the IMF and the EU, they want another Bretton Woods. I'm thinking like all these things seem eerily similar to each other with the UBI situation.
Yeah,
it's happening in our faces, man.
yeah, and that's why there's, you know, everybody's screaming about nonsensical shit, like, or at least in the media sphere, is because if they stop and look with their own two fucking eyeballs and pay attention for half a second, the reality that we're living in is much, much more intense than there was a Senate hearing today where people play acted over a predetermined outcome. But and then a lot of those people will be like, and this is all bullshit because they already know, and this is kabuki theater, and on to the next clip.
Like, dude, you gotta have Rook on again, dude. I swear to God, man, I need another one of those streams, dude. You guys got into some shit last time.
Historically, that's how that works. If you did not see the episode with a gentleman named Rook McPherson,
oh, he was great.
Go watch that. I've known Rook since 2000.
That dude's really interesting, man.
Yeah, dude, Rook's a trip. Let me tell you, dude, when I met Rook, he wasn't like straight-laced by any means, but he was kind of just a fucking meathead. Like, he was just a fucking meathead, and he was not at all conspiracy-minded, made fun of those people, and watching him like figure it out and wake up over the last 20 years has just been, God, dude, it's been great. And he's pissed off, dude, because he was like, he still does. He works for Renaissance festivals all over the country, has for like 30 years. Like, they're in that world, he's a very known quantity. And for him to just not give a fuck and be like, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, this is how it's happening, management and the whole Renaissance festival world like big mad because he's telling too much truth. It's wild. It is. I've got an action for Assange meeting in about 20 minutes, and I keep seeing on my element that they're trying to figure out when the show's gonna wrap and when we're gonna have that meeting. So I should probably go ahead and start the wrap up here. But I want to thank you guys very, very much. And look, if you're watching right now and you're a moderator on the channel, and you'd like to be on the next time that we do this, please let me know. I think it's fun as fuck.
I'm sure people are tired of seeing my mug too. So some new people.
Never. We never get sick of seeing you, Misty. Fuck your faves.
Misty.
Huh?
I'll never get tired of you, Misty.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, man, let people know. Let people know where they can find you. Let people know what your final thoughts are. And I don't really care who goes first between Misty and Ant.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. So, you guys know who I am. I'm Misty Winston. I'm an occasional co-host on Action for Assange Vigils. I also have a show called Facts on the Ground with my friend Jessie Zerwell. We just interviewed Morgan, who is in the chat, and it's an awesome episode. It's so much fun to talk to her. She's super smart, so I feel like we can talk to her forever. We actually talked to her so long today that her voice went out, so, good times.
Wow.
Yeah. So, well, she's also been protesting too, so it's already a little iffy.
I fucking feel you on that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And thanks for having me on. I'm always excited for mod shenanigans. So this was fun.
Yeah, I appreciate having me on. It's been a long time waiting. I always want to have a conversation with you guys. Sleepy Josh, like always, you're the best. And Josh, we trust. Big fan of Misty and Glory. You guys keep doing what you're doing, guys.
In Josh We Trust is my new favorite thing, Anthony. It's amazing.
Ninja Sleepy J.
Well, that's totally getting turned into a t-shirt now.
No, I need it on the show pillow.
Hey, Steve actually listens to me, so I like that.
Right?
I do. I'm tech dumb.
With the other A for A people, like I gotta like pull teeth to get them to do stuff. Like,
Hey, I'm sitting
no,
right
oh
here.
no. I mean the old schoolers.
Oh, okay.
And you and Steve are the only ones that actually listen to me on security stuff. So.
I always listen to you.
Sleepy J is the tech ninja. Okay, y'all should listen to him and get on these other platforms because he works his ass off to make sure we are on other platforms.
Very
so
true.
do it, my man, Sleepy J.
Yeah, everything that Slow News Day has done, except for the ones that YouTube has removed, has now been backed up and on Odyssey, and you should really be. We had some problems with Rockfin trying to live stream just now, but I definitely prefer that platform. If you don't have your free Rockfin account, you should go get one because all of your favorite content creators have a limited number of days on YouTube. And it's only going to get worse if and when they inaugurate President Barris or Bias.
Don't disgrace the Jamals like that. Don't disgrace the Jamals like that.
Camo?
No.
I don't know. Commosive. Comulsive? I'll stop.
What the fuck are we doing?
I'll stop. But no, the censorship is only going to get worse. I'm trying to let people know where else they can watch the show. We're very, very close to launching the website too. And that should be just where you go. I asked Vanessa Beeley if we could republish her work there today, and she said yes. So that's lovely because if not, like she's on RT Unlimited Hangout and The Last American Vagabond, but there's got to be like people that don't watch all three of those that watch this show and vice versa. So the more her work can get proliferated, the better. Glory, what's up, dude?
It was great. Thank you to the 70 to 80 people that tuned in just to watch us talk shit, you know. Hope I didn't mention too many names for you, but it was fun. I freaking love the mod panels and they have sentimental value to me because that was my first time on this show. So so yeah, good time. You can catch me on Twitter. Just search for Glory Jones, and I'll come up with a hashtag for your songs next to my name. Or if you're in LA, you can catch me on the ground. I'm like, you know, I might be filming cops. I might be yelling at protesters to make sure they're not leading us into tunnels. I might be yelling at cops, calling them bootlicking ass cunts. So,
or she might be talking to Trump supporters and changing minds.
Yeah, or I might be doing the inspirational shit. So, you guys, you guys know where to find me. Thanks, Misty and Anthony, for partaking in this wonderful mod panel with us. I'm looking forward to more of these. Steve and Tech Ninja, Sleepy J, thanks for having me on as always. And
word. Well, let's see. Do I have any business? Yeah. So super chats for the first 2 weeks of this month are going to Commander X, and then afterwards, I'll be turning the rest of November and December over to our fundraiser for Action for Assange, which we're going to launch probably this week. We're going back to Washington, D.C. on January 4th, which is when Vanessa Breitzer reads her decision. So we want to make sure and mark that occasion. We're only going to be there like the day of the 4th holding actions, and we'll probably be getting in the day prior. So much less involved than like the 3 weeks that we put together for DC in September. And what else? I'll be in Denver December 10th for Human Rights Day. I think that's it. Next week, next Sunday, Corey Morningstar will be on the show here, and I can't wait for that, dude.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, get my brain broken
I
by
just
a
want to say
completely different
one
person.
more thing, Steve. I just want to give a shout out to the chat, man. You got the best chat in the world.
The best fucking chat
and the best looking
goddamn world,
and the best looking.
Like,
I do. I have the smartest and best looking chat in the history of YouTube's.
dude, like I've learned so much from those people. Like, yo, those guys are wonderful, man.
Hey, Anthony, real quick. Anthony, do you have a
Guys
Twitter?
are all wonderful.
Anthony, do you have a Twitter?
I'm about to
no.
make one.
Just in time for the censorship.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one. No, Frank will keep telling me to make one.
Nice.
Get your ass on Twitter.
Make friends with us.
You can make friends with me.
Before you guys are all gone. Well,
we can all be siloed together. God, Jesus. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon. Good luck to us all.